Hi, I am Dr. Joe Achibo. I want to speak to you today on what I talk two things that brings the nature out, the real nature of people out. Two things that will bring the real nature of people out. These two things I want to talk to you about is something that people have you know underestimated until the real truth comes out. I tell you that every person you see that is poor, that is broke, is not really operating with the true nature. A lot of times the people you see are always pretending. I tell people that every poor person you see on the street is not really operating the real nature, is not really pulling out its real character or her real character. A lot of times people that are poor tends to pretend to be humble, pretend to be good, until they are tested with these two things I want to tell you about. These two things will bring out the real nature of the person. So when you see a poor person very humble, pretending to be good, please just run away, because this person has not been tested with these two things. The only time you can really know a real person, a real man, a real woman, is when you test them with these two things I'm about to mention now. Because when they are tested with these two things, that's when you can actually verify whether they are truly good people or not. These two things will, when it comes into marriage, you will know whether the man is really the person he claims to be, or whether the woman is really the person she claims to be in a marriage. And therefore, these two things are very important. These two things I want to talk about is very important. Is the reason why you see a lot of people act in a certain manner when they are given these two things. Number one is money. When money comes into somebody's life or into a person's life, you will really see whether the person is actually humble or not. Because oftentimes when people come to a place where money comes into their hands, they become arrogant, they become cheeky, they become so proud that sometimes they fail to relate with people the way they used to relate before. So when money comes into somebody's hands, that's when you can really see whether the person is truly humble or not. All those men that are pretending to be nice husbands, they have issues because they have not really tested money. There are people that are pretending to be very good religious people and very humble. They are pretenders because they've not really touched money. When they touch money, that's when you're going to really know whether actually they are what they claim to be. So next time you want to know the true nature of somebody, give the person money. Let the person access money. Number two is power. You want to know if somebody is really humble or is really good, give the person power. Because when you give the person power, you're going to actually really know whether this person is truly a nice person or not. Because when tested with power, people's true nature shows up. So never ever underestimate these two things I've just told you, because when you test people with this is when you really know whether the person is really good. Because those that have been tested with power oftentimes misuse the power. So you cannot actually determine who is humble and who is good, who is kind, who is loving, until you test them with these two things. So I want to say to you, try people first with these two things before you can actually say how loving, how kind, how humble, how honest they are, because if you've not tested them with these two things I'm saying, never ever approve anybody for anything, because when these two things comes into their life, and they still stay the way they are, that's when you can say that indeed this person is really true. Because I have seen people that were given money, they become something else. I've seen men that had money, they were no more good to their wives. I've seen women that came in contact with money, they were no more loyal to their husbands. I've seen people that were tested with power, and they are no more what they used to be. Because these two things I've talked about, money and power, can change anybody to anything. So take care. I look forward to see you in my next video. God bless you.